Hello, folks, and welcome to another episode of the Cubs Line Podcast. I'm Ryan Dunleavy,
And I'm Ron Zelensky.
and welcome to another episode of the Cubs Line Podcast. We haven't really done a full Cubs recap episode in a while. I was in Cooperstown, All Star Village for my brother's tournament. It was a super cool experience. Got to go see the Baseball Hall of Fame. Just awesome. If you're a baseball fan, I totally recommend go up there. Even if there's not someone you know playing, just go check out the Cooperstown area. There will be a vlog coming out soon. I did vlog there. But our last episode was with Luis Martinez Gomez, relief pitcher on the Myrtle Beach Pelicans. Ryan, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we sent him a message. He was kind enough uh to send us a message back. Agreed to the interview. It was about 10 to 15 minutes long. We asked him some questions about growing up playing baseball, what he does now with Myrtle Beach, what he kind of does in the off season. His goals, his look on kind of his future of his baseball career. Yeah, it was really fun. Thank you to Luis again for doing that. It was awesome having him on. But yeah, I think the last time we did a Cubs recap, like full video, was the last game before the break, I want to say.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yes, we got a lot to talk about, so let's get to it.
Yeah, before we get started, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor at Mark's Card Shop located in Downers Grove, Illinois. Check out their website at markscardshop.com. Thank you for sponsoring today's show. First thing I want to say is Javier Assad and Miguel Amaya are reporting to Arizona for the PL League. That on Thursday they will play and then they will go for their rehab assignments. How big would that to be to get Miguel Amaya and Javier Assad back for a playoff push?
I mean, really huge, right? Miguel Amaya, really good bat, really good catcher. We've been really missing him. I mean, again, Carson Kelly, Reese McGuire, they've stepped up, but Miguel Amaya is just, Miguel Amaya is Miguel Amaya, right? He's a really good player, turned into, damn near star. Um, Javier Assad, as much as he's not, the star arm that we need, he's another arm to this rotation, right? This rotation is kind of up in the air right now. Adding another arm, potentially if Javier Side can get hot, huge to have another, good middle of the pack arm in the rotation. So yeah, two huge additions before this October.
Yeah, for sure. So for today's recaps, when we recap the Boston series and some of the Kansas City games, we might get more detail. But for the Boston series, we're just gonna do the runs scored and just a little pitching. So we'll get into it. Friday's ball game, they win this game 4-1. In the bottom of the first inning, Seiya Suzuki hits a 3-run home run. Bush and Tucker had leadoff walks. Suzuki capitalizes 3-run bomb. How cool is that to see Seiya Suzuki hit a home run in his first at bat after the All Star break after being snubbed?
Awesome. I mean, right? We said we hope he played it with a chip on his shoulder. Clearly, he's been doing that ever since the All Stars got announced. I mean, he's been himself. He's been hitting the ball crazy. I really love what I've seen from Seiya so far. The best season of his career, again, by far. But yeah, it's been awesome to watch Seiya this year, and I'm just hoping, he keeps it up.
Yeah, and then top third inning, Roman Anthony hits his 10th double on the year to make it a 3-1 game. Jaron Duran scored. Alex Bregman advanced to third base. This ball was hit 107 miles per hour, 313 feet. Before this, I never had really seen Roman Anthony play, but man, is he a special hitter and a special player. He's going to be one of the faces of the Boston Red Sox and one of the faces of baseball in a couple years, I think. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, he's a special player, right? You said it best. I mean, he's up there, you know, I mean, PCA level. I mean, he's not as good as PCA, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. PCA, he's better, but you know, a special young talent gonna be in the league until me and you are, out of college. I mean, we're gonna be watching him for a long time.
100%. And then in the bottom of the sixth inning, Nico Horner hits a single to left field. Ian Happ scored, made it a 4-1 game. This ball was hit 96 miles an hour. How big has Nico Horner been in the leadoff spot for this team, and what adjustments have you seen him make in the leadoff spot?
I mean, we've been preaching him to be a leadoff hitter really since we started this show. He's taken a big step, as as a leadoff hitter. He's like literally the definition of a leadoff hitter. He doesn't strike out much. He gets on base. He finds ways to get on base. I just think I don't really know if there's any huge adjustments he's made. He's really just he was just a leadoff hitter hitting seven, or hitting eight, and now that he's the leadoff hitter. He's just doing his job now. So it's I don't know if there's any real huge adjustments that he's made, but yeah, I mean it's been awesome to watch him at the one spot.
Yeah, for sure. Cubs wins ball game 4-1. Colin Ray gets the win, moves him up to 8-3 on the year with a 3.8 ERA. He went 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. Ray had a good outing, except the walks were kind of out of control, but besides that, pretty good. Caleb Thielbar came in for an inning of work, got a hold, his 10th of the year, 1 inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts, 2.23 ERA. Ryan Presley comes in for 2/3 of an inning. He gets to hold his 7th of the year. He goes 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. He's now at a 3.22 ERA. Drew Pomeranz goes a third of an inning, gets the guy out. He's now at a 1.69 ERA, his 7th hold of the year. Brad Keller comes in for an inning of work, one no hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. He's now at a 3.14 ERA. And then Danny P comes in for the save, his 13th on the year. He goes 1 inning, 1 hit, no runs. He's now at a 1.53 ERA. Which Cubs pitcher impressed you the most on Friday?
I mean, really, this could go anywhere. They pitched amazing, pitched in and out of a lot of jams. I'll say Colin Ray. Good start. He's starting to really settle in and not be a oh boy, they got to really hit today. Kind of, when you look at who's pitching, I've liked what I've seen so far. Again, like you said, the walks were out of control. He threw 84 pitches, 47 for strikes, but that only resulted in 1 run. So I won't dock him too much because he only gave up one, right? But yeah, I'll say Colin Ray. It could really go anywhere though.
Yeah, for sure. For me, it was Brad Keller. He did struggle a lot before the break. Good to see him kind of bounce back after a couple of rough outings. Biggest thing we saw from him is he was throwing strikes. 7 out of his 9 pitches were strikes. You love to see that. My player of the game was Seiya Suzuki. He was 2 for 4 on the game with 2 hits, and one was a 3-run bomb, 3 RBIs. It was super cool to see him do that after getting snubbed from the All Star game. Who's your player of the game?
I mean, I'll say the same, obvious answer, 2 for 4, with 3 RBIs. He doesn't hit that. It's a 1-1 game. Who knows, what happens in extra innings. So I'll say Saya, I mean, could go to PCA. He had a hit. He made that big double play on Toro, I believe in the 6th inning, maybe. So yeah, it could go a couple places, but I'll say Saya.
Yeah, and then Ryan, do you want to recap that Saturday Boston game under the lights at Wrigley?
Yeah, Saturday night on Fox. Shota Imanaga versus Brian Bayo. I'll get the scoring for you up in a moment.
Yeah, this
Uh,
was really cool though, because two really good young pitchers. Bayo is a very young, exciting pitcher with a really nice repertoire, and Shota Imanaga, the throwing philosopher. Just love watching him pitch.
Yeah, and as does everybody. So bottom of the 1st inning, we get going real quick. I believe it was the first pitch Michael Bush saw. He goes the other way, 377 feet to left center. Cubs lead 1-2 nothing. Hot start. Michael Bush, the leadoff hitter. What have you seen from Michael Bush either since becoming the leadoff hitter, just kind of, as he's progressed this season?
He's became more of a five-tool player in my opinion. Last year, his power wasn't really there. He did have the 5 home run streak last year, but he was super inconsistent. This year, the consistency's been there. Another thing is his defense. Last year was a little shaky. This year, he's looking like a Gold Glover out there at first base. The speed's not terrible, but it could use improvement. But I've seen him way more consistent and more of a five-tool player, and I think part of that is experience. He played a full season in the MLB. Now he knows what to expect and what adjustments to make.
Yeah, and like real quick, I just want to point out what you said. Consistency. That's perfect. What you need from a leadoff hitter, right? Just be consistent. Get on. He does his job. So then, bottom of the first inning again, Kyle Tucker, 386 feet to right center. He clobbered this baseball. Cubs go back to back to begin the night. Cubs lead 2-0. And then on the bottom of the second, Vidal Brujan hits a sac fly to left. Looked like it was going to go out of play. Wind brought it back in play. Dansby scores to make it 3-0. Bottom of the seventh, Matt Shaw, deep fly to left field, 373 feet. He's hit the ball really well lately. I'm hoping that this is going to kind of stay where it is. Um, Cubs lead 4-0. Bottom of the eighth inning, PCA, 387 feet to right field. Again, long home run for PCA. We've seen a lot of those this year. He has the longest home run this season for the Cubs against Rob Z and Milwaukee. Um, in the bottom of the eighth inning again, back to back Ian Happ homers. I believe this one was from the right side, so cool, good to see Ian Happ power from both sides. He's been good since getting moved out of the leadoff spot. He's hit a lot better. He made it 6-0, and then that's where the scoring stopped. Cubs win this ball game 6-0. Now we'll get into the pitching. Shota Imanaga goes for the Cubs. This improves him to 7-3. He went 7 innings, 5 hits, no runs, one walk, 5 strikeouts. He threw 96 pitches, 64 for strikes. He's now at a 2.40 ERA. Brad Keller came in the eighth. Went 1 inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. He threw 19 pitches, 13 for strikes. He's at a 3.07 ERA now. And then Ryan Brazier comes in the ninth, 1 inning, one hit, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. He threw 16 pitches, 13 for strikes. He's now at a 1.04 ERA. Obviously, the answer is probably going to be Shota Imanaga here. What pitcher impressed you the most? And if it is Shota, which it obviously is which of the two guys that relieved him would you kind of trust more if this game was a little more close?
Um, that's both of them amazing, but probably Brad Keller. I three up, three down, three strikeouts. You love to see it. Keller has been in probably bigger spots than Brazier, but I love what I've seen from Brazier, and he's starting to get a lot more trust within me.
Yeah, I agree with that. Both again have been really good. You look at Ryan Brazier's ERA; it's at a 1.04. Um, and that really jumps out to you. But yeah, Brad Keller, I think I would trust a little bit more in a closer game. So for my player of the game, honestly, again, this could go a lot of places. I'm gonna go Michael Bush, leads off the game with a homer, had 2 hits on the day, scored a run too. He's been, really good. I'll give Michael Bush the player of the game. What about you?
Um, uh, I'll change it up. I'll go Shota Managa. 7 innings pitched, 5 hits. Just doing what Shota does. When more than half your lineup hits home runs, it's kind of hard to give a player the game when so many guys are doing their job. So I'll give it to Shota.
Yeah, I like that. So you want to take away Sunday, final game of this weekend series?
Yeah, I'd love to. So I will break down Sunday's game. This game was all Red Sox. Cubs start off early. Ian Happ hits a single on a ground ball to right field. Dansby Swanson scores. Great job from Ian Happ. Ian Happ's been pretty hot off of the All Star break. What have you seen from Ian Happ from his slump in Minnesota and New York coming off of the All Star break?
I mean, he was really slumping. I think he was like one for his last 23 going into that New York series. He had an off day on I believe that Friday when the lineup really turned around and it really opened all of our eyes. Um, since coming back though, being the 7 or 6 hitter, he's been really good. He's been consistent. He's hitting the ball around the diamond, doing what he's asked doing what we're asking, of him. This is kind of the Ian Happ that we know, right? Doing his job, putting the ball in play, getting hits. Hopefully, he can put a couple more out of the ballpark as we go on here. But yeah, I mean, I've really enjoyed watching him more at the 7 spot than at the leadoff spot.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then top seventh inning, Willie Abreu hits his first home run of the game, his 19th on the year. This ball was pimped against Ryan Presley. This was a fastball inside, a pitch that Willie Abreu loves. Um, this was just a bomb. He did chirp a little bit after that and was like, did a little goodbye. And then Alex Bregman in the top of the eighth inning hits a home run off Drew Pomeranz. So it was a pretty well executed pitch, but Bregman just took that ball out of there for a 3-run bomb. And then Willie Abreu hits another home run, his 20th on the year off Ethan Roberts. Just kind of a home run parade and bad pitches and big spots for the Cubs. What do you got on that?
I mean, well, you're brave. First of all, the homer, in the seventh. I feel like when it was 1-0, we kept leaving guys in scoring position. It was bound to happen. Um, but he just clobbered this baseball. And then in the top of the eighth, all hope is not lost at all. It's only 2-1. But then when Alex Bregman, it was a very low, I believe it was a curveball. I could be wrong. Um, but yeah, I mean, he goes down, he gets that. It was way gone again. I mean, we knew it was gone right off the bat. To make it 5-1. So that was kind of, the dagger. And then if that wasn't a dagger, Willie Abreu homers to right, makes it 6-1. This was kind of a disappointing game because it was 1-0 Cubs the whole way. They left a lot of guys in scoring position. Um, you thought it really could have been 4 or 5-0 when Willie Abreu hit that home run. But yeah, it was a tough watch. But again, series W is a series W.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, would have loved to come away with the sweep there, but 2 out of 3 against the hottest team in baseball. I'm not going to complain. My player of the game has to be Willie Abreu. 2 home runs and 3 at bats, just big bombs.
Yeah, I mean, two huge home runs, right? The one to down 1-0, go up 2-1, big 2-run shot, and then the dagger in the top of the eighth. Clutch hitting. That's the definition of the player of the game.
Yeah, it is. Now we'll take a look into the Cubs pitching. Cade Horton gets to start. He goes 5 innings and 2/3, 2 hits, no runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. He's now at a 4.04 ERA. I mean, the walks continue to haunt him, but that was a great start from Cade Horton. That's a start that you got to take advantage of. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I agree. When Cade Horton, the guy who's at the bottom of the rotation, you don't really, you wouldn't prefer him pitching in a game. Everybody can agree on that. It's tough when he, doesn't give up a run, which is a rarity. He doesn't give up a run. Um, Only 2 hits and 5 and 2/3, a really, really good outing. It's tough to only get one. A waste of a really good Cade Horton outing.
Yeah, 100%. And then the bullpen, Thielbar came in. He got an out on a strikeout. Continues to do his job. And then Ryan Presley gets the loss. He moves into 2-3 on the year. He gave up the Willie Abreu home run. Got 2 Ks. That's about it. Drew Pomeranz came in for a third. He got rocked. 2 hits, 3 runs. He gave up the Bregman home run, 1 walk. And then Ethan Roberts came in for 2/3 of an inning. He gave up a home run to Willie Abreu, and then Brooks Kriske came in for an inning, got 2 Ks. Nice job there from Kriske. Just not a good day for the bullpen though. Cubs win this series 2-3, and then Ryan, do you want to recap that Kansas City game? The first.
Yes, the very exciting game last night. Um, so Cubs come into this with Ben Brown being called up. They went with oh, who started yesterday? Was it Brazier?
Yes, it was Brazier.
It was Brazier. Yeah, so Brazier had the start. Ben Brown, with the opener, hoping that he could have figured out something, down in Iowa. Comes in, Jack Caglione goes the other way, hits one into the basket. Guy falls into the basket. Really wanted that home run ball from Jack Caglione. Can't blame the guy.
That was hilarious. I was at a Buffalo Wild Wings and started dying laughing.
That was so funny. And then I saw from Bleacher Jeff, he was like, "Oh, guys, he's okay." That was so funny. But yeah, so in the bottom of the second, immediately Cubs respond. Carson Kelly, 366 feet to left field. Again, still being a tank, ties the game at 1. And then with Dansby and Justin Turner on, Matt Shaw again, 385 feet to left field. Cubs go up 4-1. Matt Shaw's back. Cubs are gonna win this game. Unfortunately, we got a lot to cover here from here on out. Salvador Perez hits a two-run shot in the top of the fourth, makes it 4-3. Jonathan India doubles, scores rave, and gets Kyle Isbell a third, ties the game at four. And again, in the top of the fifth, Bobby Witt reaches on a infield single, tough play. There went off Ben Brown's glove to make it 5-4. Jonathan India scores on a throwing error by Carson Kelly. Um, it was a first and third situation. Bobby Witt steals. Carson Kelly probably honestly gets him. Bad throw though. Dansby lets it get by into center field. And then Jonathan India comes in to score, makes it 6-4. Then immediately, Bobby Witt had gotten to third on that wild pitch, or on that bad throw from Carson Kelly, and then I believe it was the next pitch, Ben Brown wild pitch, 7-4, and then Ray hits a homer, 404 feet to right center field, makes it 8-4. Salvador Perez hits a homer in the top of the eighth, 408 feet to center field, 10-4. Ray hits a single to center. Jack Haglione scores. Lofton gets a second, makes it 11-4. Bobby Witt grounds into a fielder's choice. Ray scores to make it 12-4. So very eventful game there. Um, I just think it's time to make a tough but easy decision on Ben Brown. I think it's time for the Cubs to move on from him, ship him in a trade package if anyone's willing to take him. But we sent him down earlier in the year. He came back up, wasn't good. Sent him down, came back, wasn't good, and then sent him down again for what was it, like 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. Came back up again. A terrible outing from him. Yeah, what are your thoughts about that? Do you think it's time to shut the door on the Ben Brown train?
Here's my problem. Ben Brown, he only has a fastball and a changeup. Or fastball, slider, or changeup?
Fastball and changeup. Yep.
Fastball. Yeah, he's trying to develop a slider. My bad, I forgot. He goes down to Iowa. The biggest thing he wants to do in Iowa is develop that third pitch. The reason he's getting hit so hard is because he only has two pitches. He clearly did not develop that third pitch. When you're just throwing two pitches, it's pretty easy as a hitter, especially when it's a fastball and a changeup with little movement.
The two easiest pitches to have. I mean, again, hitting a baseball is not easy whatsoever, but a fastball and a changeup are the two easiest pitches to hit.
So, I mean, he went down to Iowa to do something, he didn't do it, and it backfires on him. The long ball is still a big problem with Ben Brown. And, I mean, I think it's time to move on from him and put him in the deal because I do think he still has upside. He is a tall pitcher. We have seen some great outings from him. He has some velocity. I think he's a good pitcher and he can develop, but I don't think it's going to happen in the Cubby Blue.
Yeah, and I believe that he threw the changeup 7 times yesterday, which is, I mean, you threw 63 pitches, and that would mean you threw 56 fastballs. You're just asking to get rocked at that point.
100%.
Um, so for the Cubs pitching, Brazier, the opener, or he started the opener, went an inning, shut the door, no hits, no runs, got a strikeout. Ben Brown, kind of the highlight here, got the loss for. He's now 4-7. He went 4 innings, 7 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them were earned. He got 4 strikeouts, no walks. Gave up 2 homers though. He threw 63 pitches, 43 for strikes. His ERA is now 6.48. Flexen came in and relieved him. Ate some innings there. 3 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs. 5 of them were earned. Uh, a walk, no strikeouts. Also gave up 2 homers. 50. He's at 59 pitches, 42 for strikes. He's now at a 2.50 ERA. And then big old Cy Young contender John Birdie went in the ninth. The best hitter or the best pitcher for the Cubs today. He only threw 5 when Brazier threw 11. So I'll argue that John Birdie was the best pitcher for the Cubs. He went an inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. He threw 5 pitches, 4 of them for strikes. His ERA is now 6.75. After it was 18, it's now 6.75. So John Birdie's starting to settle in a little bit. Let's go.
He's close to Ben Brown is a 6.48. He has a 6.75. I believe Ethan Roberts has a 9 ERA. Birdie's sitting around 6.75.
Look at John Birdie just in the middle of the pack of the Cubs bullpen. Love to see it. So player of the game. Um, I mean, I guess it could go to Michael Garcia, it could go to Salvador Perez. I'll give it to Salvador Perez. Had two big homers.
Yeah. I'll give it to John Rave. He went 2 for 4 on the night. Or I'll do a combo. John Rave and Kyle Isbell at the 8 and 9 spot. They were 5 for 8 with 4 runs, 2 RBIs. Both of them had big games from the 8 and 9 hole.
Yeah, I mean, it really could go anywhere. Kansas City. They played, again, did the Cubs get rocked? Yes, but you know, KC balled out last night. So you want to give tonight's recap so we're all caught up.
Yeah, definitely a more fun game to recap. Cubs win this game 6-0. One thing I do want to say is how cool it was to watch Rich Hill go out there and pitch again at the age 45 for another team. That was a super cool thing to watch. And even though he might not be pitching for the Cubs, it's kind of a full circle moment. He started his career there. Probably one of his last starts, I would assume, is at Wrigley Field, and it was super cool. And he didn't do that bad either.
Yeah, old grandpa. What is he? 45 now.
Yeah,
Man, I mean, think about it. Like our dads are around that age, and
yeah.
and Rich Hill's still pitching in the major leagues. So I mean, that is a crazy perspective to look at.
I saw a stat that Rich Hill, when he made his debut, Bobby was 5 years old and Cags was 2 years old,
That means PCA had to be what, like three, maybe something like that.
somewhere around there. I mean, think about how old like Cade Horton is, even Miguel Amaya,
Yeah,
like some of the young guys.
yeah, that's insane.
Yeah, so in the bottom of the second inning, Matt Shaw singles on a ground ball to Jonathan India. Um, just kind of a weak hit, but Shaw legs it out. Kind of tough play by India. Dansby Swanson scores. I mean, do you think if Matt Shaw gets hot that you don't necessarily trade for a third baseman? Like, I would still do it, but what are you thinking if you're the Cubs for an office?
It's really making me mad how he's getting hot because you'll get why in a second. I love that he's heating up because I see the upside. I'm cheering for him to be good. But it's like I just don't think he's gonna be, a hot hitter, a slugger in October, for this long. So that's why I'm like, well, if he balls out now, I'm nervous at the front office because he'll be like, oh, he figured it out, and then not trade for a third baseman. We're gonna do our mock trades, after this recap. I have a Suarez trade in there, but I'm hoping that they're not just gonna pass up on that because Matt Shaw's heating up. I love that he's heating up, but I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, and then Nico Horner reaches on a fielder's choice. Michael Garcia to Nick Lofton. Justin Turner scored. Matt Shaw is out at third, but the run does come in, makes it a 2-0 ball game. Then PCA hits a double, his 25th on the year on a line drive. Cags kind of misplayed this. He like kind of jumped at it almost. He misplayed this ball. It was a tough ball to play. If I was him, he tried making a play on it, but could have backfired. PCA got gunned at third, but Kelly did score. Oh, another big knock from him, though. Seiya Suzuki in the bottom of the seventh, base loaded, now outs. He hits a single. All the runners hold, though, makes it a 4-0 game. And then Kelly hits a sac fly, run scores, and Seiya Suzuki stole second base, and Tucker stole home on a wild pitch. 6-0 Cubs. How big was that seventh inning with all that insurance runs?
I mean, 3-0 and 6-0, very different. Big to get them late, in the seventh inning. Give your bullpen a lot of breathing room because that kind of went from like all right, get the big guns out to all right, we can kind of we don't have to throw our really really good arms. Um, for the rest of the way. But yeah, a huge inning to get three. I mean, even one there is huge, but getting the three to make it 3-0 to 6-0, that's a huge gap. Very big insurance runs there.
Yeah, for sure. So the Cubs win this ball game 6-0. Matthew Boyd gets the win. He's now 11-3 on the year. He goes 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs. None of them were obviously no earned. 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. He now has 2.2 ERA. Why is Matthew Boyd not being talked about for the Cy Young? I don't understand it. Most underrated pitcher in baseball.
I can't. I mean, okay. There's a part of me that's like, all right, he's gonna start to get talked about, but like 2.2 ERA is, I believe now. I saw a stat when I was on Instagram earlier, the
Second
second best in the National League.
behind Skeens, but Skeens has only won 4 ball games, and that wins and losses is as much as it does kind of stink. It's factored into Cy Young.
Exactly, that's the thing. It's like, all right, you want to put Skeens, in the Cy Young, okay, but if Matthew Boyd is 11-3 with a 2.2 ERA, he has not now given up an earned run in 23 or 24 straight innings. Why is there no talk of him in the Cy? I can't fathom it. Again, hopefully he will start to get talked about as a Cy Young candidate, but I mean, he's balling right now. Second best, I think he's the second best pitcher in the National League. I'm gonna say right now. I think he's the second best pitcher in the National League behind Paul Skeens. Yeah.
Like this
Um
year,
what's up?
or
Right now, like currently right now. That's what I mean.
okay, I was gonna say like in the future, like I would have like Yamamoto, Mackenzie Gore probably over him, but this year, 100%.
Yeah, like currently right now, that's what I mean.
Okay, I understand that. That's a good take. And then Caleb Thielbar won an inning, nothing allowed, 1 strikeout. He's now at a 2.15 ERA. Danny P came in for the 9. He's electric. 1 inning, pitched 2 hits, got a K. Now at a 1.49 ERA. My player of the game for today's ball game, it's got to be Matthew Boyd. 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk. I mean, just unreal. What about you?
It's so hard. Like I think every single start of his since like the Sunday night St. Louis game, we've picked him for I think we've picked him for player of the game every single time he starts. Like it's so hard to go away from him for player of the game because he's just balling every time. I'll say Matthew Boyd for my player of the game. If I couldn't, I'll go Matt Shaw just because he's starting to pick it up a little bit. Had 2 hits tonight, but again, Matthew Boyd is my player of the game.
Yeah. So now in our trade um deadline portion, Owen Casey's stock is at an all-time high right now. Tonight he went 5 for 5 with a home run, a double, a bunch of knocks. He's hitting 282 on the year, um, 82 hits, 20 bombs. He's 2 away from his career high. His stock is at a all-time high right now. And I think if the Cubs want to get someone electric, Owen Casey would be a perfect guy. I'm gonna go through my guys who I think the Cubs have on the chopping block. Owen Casey, Moises Ballesteros. I think Jefferson Rojas is pretty untouchable. He just got promoted to Double A. He's not projected to come up until 2026. I think Jefferson Rojas is pretty protected. What about you?
Yeah, I think he's probably one of those, untouchable guys, unless, a huge opportunity comes up. But I think he'll be untouchable.
Think Alcantara, Wiggins, Triantos, Birdsell. I think Fernando Cruz is an untouchable. Still in rookie ball. He is like 17 years old right now. Projected to come up in 2029. Do you think he's untouchable as well?
Yeah, I do. Did you also say Kevin Alcantara in there for untouchable?
No.
Okay, that's my bad. I thought you like included him in that group. But yeah, I think he'll be untouchable again,
I'm
like
talking
Rojas.
about the guys that I think will get traded, and then I said Cruz and Rojas are untouchable.
Oh, okay, all right, that's my bad. Yeah, I did.
Brandon
I was.
Long, Jack Neely, um, Will Sanders, Ben Cowles, Brody McCole, Kristen Franklin, Nazar Mule, Drew Gray, Jordan Wicks, Ben Brown, some of Jack Neely, some MLB ready guys who you could package in a trade. So I'll go into my trades first. My trades are 3 veteran guys who you're not going to have to pay a lot for. You're not going to have to blow up your system, but they're going to get a job done. My first one addresses the starting pitching need. And if you're a Cubs fan, you need to watch tomorrow's game because that is the guy I have them projected to get is Seth Lugo. Lugo is 6-5 on the year with a 2.94 ERA. Even though he's 35 right now, he has experience. He has playoff experience. He's been amazing this year. I know he's been pretty rocky in his last couple of starts, but I really think Lugo would be a great option for the Cubs and cheap. I have the Cubs return being James Triantos and Jordan Wicks. I like Wixie, but I don't know where there's going to be a spot for him with the Cubs. I think he does have some high value, and I think it's about time to move on from him. And then Triantos is the Cubs' sixth prospect. He's major league ready. He's 22 years old. He's Cubs' second round pick in 2021. He's a great hitter, great fielder. I just don't think there's a room for him on the Cubs. He's kind of having a down year, hitting 256, um, 2 home runs. His value is kind of down right now, but I think Triantos and Wicks would be enough to get this deal done. My next one addresses the bullpen issue, and even though he's kind of having a down year, I'm going to go with Kyle Finnegan. Finnegan has a 4.33 ERA with a 1-4 ER with a 1-4 record. He can bring experience. He can pitch late innings. I'm giving up for Kyle Finnegan, Ben Cowles, and Jack Neely. I think Ben Cowles has a lot of upside. We got him in the Mark Leiter deal last year. I do like Ben Cowles a lot, but I don't really think there's a spot for him. Another another utility man. I think he probably could go right up to the Nationals major league team and make an impact. So I'm gonna go Ben Cowles and Jack Neely. We did see a glimpse of him last year, but he doesn't really have command, and when he does, it's kind of over the plate. He has a lot of upside, but I think it's time for him to go. Kind of ironic that we traded Mark Leiter for Cowles and Neely, and my return for Finnegan for the Nationals, Cowles and Neely. So they'd get traded together twice, but uh, making one reliever, another reliever. So I'm fine with that. Then my last trade addresses the first base and third base issue. Not really first base, more of when Michael Busch has to face a lefty, a right-handed batter opposed to Justin Turner, and then this guy can play some third base. Yandy Diaz from the Tampa Bay Rays. He's hitting 298 right now with 20 bombs, like a very underrated, very good season that's not being talked enough about. I have the return being Christian Franklin and Christian Franklin, and my other guy that I have is Drew Gray. Franklin is pretty much MLB ready too. He's in AAA Iowa. He's hitting 263, not 37 bombs. Pretty solid player. And then I also have Drew Gray, just big left-handed arm with a lot of upside. Which deal is your favorite, and which one do you think would not go through?
Um, my favorite is honestly Seth Lugo. We need the starting pitching. Our rotation is not where it needs to be to win a championship. So I'm willing to give up like a little more than we should for Seth Lugo just to get the impact in the rotation. And then for not go through, I mean, I don't know. I feel like they all probably would go through. Those were
The one I do think is a little undervalued is the Yandy Diaz. They might ask for a little more on him than Franklin. I honestly, if they asked for Kevin Alcantara instead of one of those two, I would do it.
Yeah, Yanni Diaz is. I was really glad to hear that the Cubs have been in talks for Yandy Diaz. Great ball player. I would love to see him. If I had to choose Lugo or Diaz, I would go Lugo. But still, I would love it if Yandy Diaz was in the Cubby blue.
Yeah, for sure. And then you want to go into your trades.
Yeah, so I got three for y'all here. So my first one, like you started off with, addresses the starting pitching. I've got Mitch Keller going to the Cubs for Triantos, Mo Baller, and Jordan Wicks. Right now, Mitch Keller, his wins and losses is not where it needs to be, but again, Paul Skeens is also not where it needs to be. Mitch Keller, a 3.53 ERA right now. He's 97 strikeouts. He's got a 1.16 whip. I mean, he's a really good, 3-4 guy. Again, we could use all the starting pitching. We could get, um, like you said, Jordan Wicks. I mean, there's not really a spot for him here. Mo Baller and Chiantos, they could use the offense, which is what they need. I mean, Pittsburgh needs a full reset. So for my second trade is gonna be Eugenio Suarez. A lot of talks with the Cubs and the Diamondbacks, the Yankees and the Diamondbacks. I'm just a little worried that his name has gotten too big in the trade talks right now that the Cubs are gonna want to be in like the quote unquote sweepstakes for him because everybody that's a contender that needs a little bit at third base, a little help at third base is gonna be in their form. I've got Eugenio Suarez here for Ben Cowles, Ben Brown, and Drew Gray. You give them Ben Cowles. There's their replacement for him. Ben Brown, a lot of upside. Drew Gray, they do need the pitching. Although they have Merrill Kelly and Zach Gallen, and a couple other guys, their pitching is below average right now. So adding Drew Gray, adding Ben Brown immediately coming up, maybe being in AAA for a little bit, but then you get Drew Gray to put in the system. And then for my last one, we kind of touched on this about a month ago. We talked about, we love Danny P, but we just don't know if he, can be, a shutdown closer in the playoffs. My opinions have changed a little bit on that, but it would be nice to get, another lockdown guy. So I've got Mason Miller for Kevin Alcantara, Nazier Mule, and Ben Cowles. That might be a little too much giving up for Mason Miller. But but he's got 19 saves. He's at a 4 ERA right now, 57 strikeouts, a 106 whip. Mason Miller, star power, lockdown reliever. I don't know if that's it's too much. I don't know if it is, but yeah, those are my three trades. I'll ask you the same. What's your favorite, and what do you think wouldn't go through?
My favorite has to be the Mason Miller deal. If I'm gonna be honest, I would probably switch your Mitch Keller, and the Eugenio Suarez. I feel like you could get Keller for less than Suarez, because I think everyone and their mother is gonna be asking for Eugenio Suarez. I mean, second, third in the league in home runs. I feel like the the Diamondbacks are gonna maximize their return. I feel like Keller would be easier to get. I almost switched those two returns realistically. My favorite is Mason Miller, but I think the Athletics are going to ask for Owen Casey. If we're going to get Mason Miller, I think they're going to ask for Owen Casey. But if that could go through, I'd love it.
So would you replace Kevin and Owen, or would you add Owen and take out somebody to that trade?
If I had to do mock trades for what you like, for Mason Miller, I'd do Jack Neely because he's kind of a closer. I would do Jack Neely, James Triantos, and Kevin Alcantara for Mason Miller.
Okay, yeah, I could see that happening. I mean, yeah.
For Suarez, I'll do Jonathan Long because he kind of plays a little bit of third base. Um, I like the Drew Gray. I'll do Jonathan Long, Drew Gray, and then they can pick and choose if they want Jordan Wicks or Ben Brown. Then for Mitch Keller, I feel like you almost can do Brandon Birdsell and then one other guy. I let them pick anywhere from our 20th to our 30th prospect. Whichever one they like the most, you can go and take a swing at them.
I like that. Yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh again. Like I said, they need the full revamp. They're probably going to ask for a good bat.
They're gonna ask for a lot though, because whenever you trade in division, you don't want to lose that trade, because then you're gonna have to face these guys. Like, if I would love to bring over Arenado, but the Cardinals are going to way overpay us. If we're gonna get Arenado, we're gonna have to see Owen Casey in a Cardinals jersey, and I don't think I could stand that.
Yeah, no, I would not like that at all.
Yeah, so last thing I want to do is a little bit of a Brewers roster breakdown, because I feel like we kind of need to talk about them because this has been unreal, and I just want to talk a little about their team. So they're starting pitching. Freddie Peralta, he's having an unreal year, MLB All-Star. Then they have in the middle of the rotation, Quinn Priester and Jose Quintana. Quintana's a veteran lefty. Obviously, you guys know him, Cubs fans. Veteran lefty. And then Quinn Priester, they got him from Pittsburgh in a deal. He's a kind of former top prospect, having a really good year. And then towards the front of their rotation, they got the Miz and Brandon Woodruff. Woodruff just came back from injury, and the Miz is the Miz. And then they got Nestor Cortez and Robert Gasser on the 60-day IL. Some of their key guys in the bullpen is Trevor McGill. He was an all-star closer. He's a left-handed specialist. He's a righty, but lefties don't hit him. Setup man and like middle relievers, Abner Uribe, former all-star. He's a great pitcher. Nick Mears, Jared Koenig, Aaron Ashby, DL Hall, Grant Anderson, and then Rob Z is on the IL. Catching, they got William Contreras, Silver starting catcher. He's a righty, right? Obviously, you guys know him. Two-time All-Star, 2023 Silver Slugger. Their infield at first base, they have Andrew Vaughn, Reese Hoskins, and Jake Bowers, both on the 10-day IL. Second base, they got Bryce Terang, Joey Ortiz, Isaac Collins, Caleb Durbin, Andrew Monsteros, just all kind of utility guys they got. Then the outfield is kind of where they get star-studded with Yelich, Churio, and then they also have Collins, Perkins, Sal Frelick's on the 10-day IL, and then Garrett Mitchell is on the 60-day IL. Who are some guys that really stand out to you in that roster?
I mean, I'll start right, with the obvious, Christian Yelich, obviously. And then infielders, Andrew Monasteros had a pretty good year. Bryce Terang is always kind of, that pesky guy who always will find you. Jacob Mizorowski, obviously, he's stepped in, immediately made a huge impact, all-star. Originally, I was upset about that selection, but I did hear that like 11 other pitchers were given the opportunity, said no. So
13.
how much was it?
13.
Yeah, okay, it was 13. Yeah, so I'm completely fine with him being an all-star. Again, he's been, you know, unbelievable. Freddie Peralta's been Freddie Peralta. Nothing's changed from him. He's been really good this year. Um, you know, and then Jose Quintana, a veteran arm, with I'm no doubt in my mind that they'll make the playoffs. He's got some experience there. Brandon Woodruff, they got him back. William Contreras and all-star. Like this team is, you know, they always find a way to put together some wins and fight in the standings. So I will say, my prediction is still the Cubs to win this division because I think they're going to do more than Milwaukee at the deadline. And I think that I originally did think it was going to be like Cubs by like 6 or 7 games. I now think it's going to come to the final weekend.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's gonna be a lot of fun to watch. I think I have tickets for like that Saturday game, so that would be pretty sweet to see.
Yeah, that is
I
going
just
to be.
wanted to do a little dive into their roster, obviously, because they've been super hot. So now we'll take a look around the MLB. Anything else you got before we take a look?
I mean, next week, Monday through Wednesday, Cubs in Milwaukee in Wrigley North. We need a lot of Cubs fans, there to cheer the boys on because we need that series. It's gonna be, it's gonna be. I think this is really like the best the rivalry has kind of been in a while. Just in this thing, in the sense of like they haven't been fighting for a spot like this in the division, like and of this caliber, right? Right now, the Cubs have the best record in the league, but they're tied with Milwaukee. So Milwaukee and the Cubs have the best record in the league. They're tied for the division right now. Like in 2018, they had the game 163, but the Brewers got hot like in mid-September and came back. But right now, it's gonna be a dog fight for these last couple months. Yeah, I'm really excited to see how this unfolds. Hopefully, the Cubs win the race, but yeah, really excited to see. It's gonna be electric.
Yeah, so am I. So we'll take a look around the MLB from today. The White Sox lose to the Rays 4-3. Colson Montgomery did hit his first career home run. The Guardians beat the Orioles 6-3. J Ram hit a bomb. Stephen Kwan made an unreal play and threw out Ramon Urias at second base. Pirates beat the Tigers 8-5. Mitch Keller did get hit hard a little bit, but he got the W. Jake Rogers hit a big 3-run bomb, and Jemiah Jones hit a 2-run bomb, but that was it for the offense on the Tigers. The Marlins beat the Padres 4-3. Javier Sonoja hit a RBI triple. Edward Cabrera got the W. Another guy I could see the Cubs going for at the deadline, but I could see the price being a little high because the Cubs will have him under control for a little while. The Nationals beat the Reds 6-1. Connor Pilkington struck out 3 in his Nationals debut. A nice little outing from him. The Phillies beat the Red Sox 4-1. Christopher Sanchez went not the complete game, 12 strikeouts in the W. The Yankees beat the Blue Jays 5-4. Ben Rice hit the go-ahead solo home run. It's a really fun series to watch as the Yankees are trying to take some games from the Blue Jays in that division. The Mets beat the Angels 3-2. Um, Francisco Alvarez hit a big two-run bomb after returning from AAA. The Giants beat the Braves 9-0. Casey Smith hit a home run. Wilmer Flores hit a big three-run shot. The Rangers beat the A's 6-2. Corey Seager hit a three-run home run, and Jacob deGrom shoved. He's now 10-2 on the year with a 2.28 ERA. One thing I do want to talk about though is a guy in the A's, Nick Kurtz. He's becoming one of the best first baseman in the league. I just want to talk to you guys about these stats. 281, 19 home runs, 49 RBIs. He's a 973 OPS. I think he's already the face of the A's, and I think he'll be an all-star next year. What about you?
I mean, he's having such a great rookie season, but it's just, Jacob Wilson too. Like they've got two star rookies there. Um, yeah, I mean, he's starting to become a star, right? Brent Rooker, he's kind of the big bat in the name of the A's right now. But yeah, Nick Kurtz and Jacob Wilson, they're gonna be a duo for a while. I have a feeling. But yeah, I've been it's been a treat to watch them this year.
Yeah, I think you could throw Lawrence Butler in that mix too, for sure.
Oh yeah, I always forget about Lauren. He's also a baller. I mean, they've got some hope. Honestly, the A's, Lawrence Butler, he had a great year last year. He's having a great year this year. I can't believe I forgot about him.
The Rockies beat the Cardinals 8-4 tonight. Nice to
Love
see
to
it.
see it. Love to see it.
Ryan McMahon three-run home run. The Astros beat the D-backs 3-1. Bryce Matthews hit the go-ahead two-run home run, and he starts the game-ending double play. I mean, he hit two bombs against Gallen yesterday, and then he hits another home run today. Clutch shot. Framber Valdez with a great start. I mean, he's their number one prospect, but I haven't really heard him talked about. Then he comes up, hits three bombs in his first two games. That's pretty cool. And then the Mariners beat the Brewers 1-0. Cal Raleigh solo shot. Logan Gilbert struck out 10. Nice to see the Brewers lose a game finally.
So finally, get used to losing, Milwaukee, because it's going to start happening a lot more. Let's go, Mariners.
The Twins beat the Dodgers 10-7. Andy Pajes and Shohei Ohtani with home runs, but that was not enough tonight in a shootout. So we'll take a look in the standings. The Cubs and the Brewers are tied for first place in the NL Central, both at 60 and 41. The Phillies have a half a game lead on the Mets. The Dodgers have a 3.5 game on the Padres. Toronto has a 3-game lead on the Yankees. Detroit has a 9-game lead on Cleveland. And then Houston has a 5-game lead on Seattle. In the NL wild card, the Cubs and the Milwaukee are tied for the first spot. Well, the funny thing is, both of them one team will be a wild card and one team will be the number one seed coming out of the NL Central.
Yeah, I mean the Cubs right now hold the tiebreaker. So right now, I mean, I just look at it as Cubs have the division, Cubs are the one seed. But I mean, it's crazy that we saw it in football this year with the Lions and the Vikings, both being really good, and the Vikings having to go on the road for the wild card game. But I mean, this could raise some, suspicion. Like again, it happened in 2021 with the 106-win Dodgers being a wild card team. Like, could this kind of open some eyes for new playoff seeding, just in the sense of like the Cubs and Brewers both have the best record in the majors. One team will have to play a 3-game series in a wild card, and one team will have a bye and play in the NLDS automatically. So I mean, it definitely could shake some things up, and maybe they talk about new seeding. But yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks for whoever, let's say they tie for the division, right? It sucks for the loser.
Yeah. Hopefully it'll be the Cubbies though. And then the Mets are in that second wild card spot, leading 2.5 games. And the Padres are in the third spot, up 2.5 games. The Giants are trailing 2.5 games. Cincinnati and St. Louis are both trailing 3.5 games, and Arizona's back 5.5. And then the AL wild card race, the Yankees have a 3 game lead, Seattle has a 1 game lead, and then Boston has a half a game lead on the Rays. The Rays are trailing a half game. Texas 1.5 games. Cleveland 2.5 games. The Angels, Twins, both 4 games, and Kansas City 4.5 games. So that's gonna be a fun race. I don't think any of those teams are gonna buy hard, but I don't think any of them will sell necessarily. My hard sellers are Baltimore. I don't really know what the Athletics have to sell, but anything there. White Sox, Colorado, Pittsburgh, Washington, Atlanta, Miami. A guy who I really want the Cubs to bring back is Mike Talkman. I think he'd be a great bench bat for a low price. What about you?
Oh, there we go. We got him back.
Yeah. No, what I was saying is a guy that I would love for the Cubs to bring back is Mike Talkman.
Yeah, I mean, good bench bat, right? Hope. I mean, he's been balling this year. Definitely could have been an all-star. But yeah, he's been balling, and I think And then another one that I want them to bring back. He won a ring with them. Aroldis Chapman, all-star, been pitching really well. I think the Red Sox won't want too much for him, so I would, again, bullpen pitcher, late innings and in playoff games. I'd love to have him back.
Yeah, I agree with that. So now we'll play MLB Pickle. Um, I'll go Ben Rice to start out. How about that?
Uh,
Hit the go ahead horn or hit another guy. There we go. You Darvish. So he is a righty and in the NL. So
ready? NL. Does it say position or no?
not a pitcher, starting pitcher at least. Let's go with Trey Turner. Because he's not from Japan, so I assume it's USA. Trey. He's not in the. It's not NL East, so I assume it's the AL West. Righty.
Or NL West?
No, because it hit the yellow thing with the AL West, but it's not close with the NL East. So I assume it is.
Oh, okay.
So AL West, Houston righty, Cam Smith.
Yeah.
So he is in the AL West, a righty, around 32 years old. We'll go athletic Shea Langoliers. Nope. I'll go with from the Mariners. Well, I know he's not that, but Miles Mastroboni.
Big dog.
So he is on Seattle, a righty, around 29 years old. So a bullpen arm. I'll go Moon.
Where from the US, right?
No,
Oh, not from the US.
Andres Munoz. So he's not a relief pitcher. So I don't think it's not catcher because it's big dumper.
Could it be J-Rod?
I don't know if he's like around like 30 years old. Is my only thing.
Oh yeah, he's 24. Yeah, you're right. He is young.
Randy Arozarena, maybe.
Yeah, try that.
I'll try Randy. Sorry about that. It's loading. Sorry. There we go. Randy Arozarena.
Go.
You're immaculate grid player. Or no, we'll play a little immaculate grid.
All right, Cincinnati and the Dodgers. Um,
I'll go Hall of Fame because I was just there. Johnny Bench.
oh yeah, there we go. So Reds Hall of Fame, Johnny Bench.
Ty Cobb. Seattle Hall of Fame, Ken Griffey Jr. There we go.
Yeah, so we're Tigers, Ty Cobb, Hall of Fame, Ken Griffey, Seattle.
LA and Seattle, we could go Teoscar Hernandez.
Detroit and the A's. Or no, wait. Did did Rajay ever play for the A's? No, he didn't, right?
I don't think so. Dodgers and Reds. I'm trying to think of Dodgers roster. Oh, Trevor Bauer did.
Oh yeah.
Bauer signed with the singing of his vlogs. Did they have him on it? Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Dodgers.
Dodgers Tigers.
Just trying to think of trades like. Oh, Jack Flaherty.
There we go.
I know they made a trade last year. That's what made me think of it.
All
All
right.
right.
A's Reds. Um uh, Billy Hamilton. I know he played
Oh,
for a lot of
Sam Moll. They made a trade last year. I remember at the deadline, left-handed pitcher Sam Moll.
A's Tigers.
A's and Tigers. Trying to think. You got any off the top of your head or no?
I mean, I mean, the A's, I feel like the A's always jump out at me. Like the A's and the Tigers, I always think of like the 2015 like era. But I'm like,
I
that's what.
know. I'm trying to think like utility guys.
Yeah.
Mark Hanna was utility on the A's. I don't know if he played for the Tigers though. I feel like there we go, Mark Hanna.
Oh, really?
He was a nice utility guy. Yeah, I remember. He played for a bunch of different teams after his A stint. Now he's neat Athletics and Mariners. You got any?
Oh, did Randy play for the A's? Oh, yeah, he
No.
did, right?
Randy who?
Johnson?
No.
He didn't?
No. I mean, I'll search up if he
Oh,
played.
no, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. That's on me. That's on me. No, he didn't.
Very good. All good. Um,
Ricky, maybe?
Henderson?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll guess it. There we go. We're immaculate.
Yeah. There we go.
Thank you guys for tuning in to today's show. I know what went a little long, but had a lot of fun. We are immaculate. And thank you guys for tuning in. Cubs day game today. Try and put out an earlier show tomorrow. Signing off, Ryan Dunleavy.
Ryan Zelinsky.
See you guys in the next episode.